Looking to their offseason, Geltzeiler, I'll start with you. What should their number one priority be out in Salt Lake?
I think you have to do whatever you have to do to bring back Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward, and I know they're looking at George Hill, and it's an important position. He's a very important player for them. But your Hayward is your credibility in Utah. If you lose Gordon Hayward as a free agent, you've taken 5 steps backward.
Wow.
If he stays and you're able to keep him there, you'll be able to add pieces, whether it's George Hill or somebody else. But Hayward is your credibility. Hayward is what makes people want to come there. He's a star that you've developed. And whether he's a star, superstar, we can quibble over the title or the label you put on him. He's a very good player that led this team to a 51-win season. Those guys don't grow on trees. If you can't keep them in your location, there's something toxic in your program. So to me, I think the Jazz's offseason, forget everything else. If you keep Gordon Hayward, it's a successful offseason. And if you don't, then your franchise is once again in a lot of trouble and at a crossroads.
I think he's going to want to leave Utah.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that he looks at the product that they put out there this year, and he has to be convinced that as long as he stays in Utah, he'll never win an NBA championship. Here's a guy not once, but twice. Well, right? When he was at Butler, went to national championship games?
Yeah.
At least once,
Played
right?
the national championship, lost to Duke.
I don't know if he went the next year, right? Because that was Matt Howard's shoulder. Either way, he had great success there at Butler. He wants to win. And there's no way he could really – I was watching him at the podium after Game 4. There's no way in the pit of his stomach think that we can ever win a championship.
Really?
Here.
You don't think with Gobert?
No chance. Rudy Gobert, I was shocked at how soft he was in that series. He got beat to loose balls. He's a freak athlete. He's got long arms. He's got no heart. He was gutless at times on defense. There's no way Gordon Hayward could leave that series being like, we're not that far away, boys.
Brian, do you agree with that? That if they kept those two, we would think the Stifle Tower was a piece. Timmy disagrees. But if he did re-sign Gordon Hayward, as you mentioned, if they do have that center presence at least, would they be a lead guard away from being more competitive, at least to Golden State?
Depends who the lead guard was. I mean, you put Kyle Lowry there, they'd be a little bit closer. I don't know if you can go get him for that kind of money because, again, they have a slot to put Hill in. They're going to look to get rid of Derek Favors. He's probably going to opt out of his deal anyway. If he doesn't, they'll trade the last year of his deal to try to free up some space. They'll try to move Alec Burks out of there. They'll try to make a max slot for a major lead guard. I just don't know who you're getting there. That's the problem. And I think, listen, here's the thing. Hayward wanted out last summer.
Yep.
He was trying to push his way to Boston, and they went out and got George Hill to appease him. So what Timmy's saying is absolutely entirely feasible. It was in Gordon Hayward's head to leave last year and want to be out of there. He ended up staying. They had a very good year. He wants a win. Does he believe he can win here? Listen, I do think Gobert is a guy he can pair with, but he has to believe they can track the right lead guard, or he has to believe in George Hill. George Hill was hurt a lot this year, and that was it's a conundrum for Utah in free agency because Hill will come less money than some of these other guys and can be just as effective, but the injury thing's a huge problem. One postscript here about what Timmy said about Gobert, and I think he's onto something. Gobert, when he's banged up, and we saw it last summer in the Olympics, when he's banged up, he doesn't go as hard. He's not one of these guys that, even though maybe physically he feels 80%, that makes him push it to 100%. I mean, he's getting beat down the floor last night, just not running back on defense. And yes, he's far from 100% right now. No excuse to not work hard and not hustle. And to Timmy's point, maybe there is a little bit of a ticker problem there.
Yeah, I just wonder, have you ever been to the great state of Utah?
I have not.
I haven't either. Brian, you ever been to Utah?
No, sir.
Okay.
Does it exist?
So 3 men that I would say are pretty well-rounded, maybe 150 years experience on this great green
Never
earth.
been to Utah.
No, none of us have been to the state of Utah. You think Kyle freaking Lowry's like this? I want to go to freaking Utah.
He's
to play
been in
basketball.
Toronto. How bad can it be to go to Utah?
Oh, jeez.
He's not going there. It was an example. But you know what I'm saying. They'll put the right player in there. But I do doubt their ability to get the right player, which is why ultimately the answer is going to be one of two things for them. Either A, overpay George Hill to come there, or overpay a guy like a Derrick Rose who can't get paid anywhere else to come there. That's
at least in Toronto. They have strip clubs. I remember when I was up there, I was throwing coins at the women because they don't have dollars.
We didn't know what it was.
No,
How much
$1
is this?
a coin in Canada. How about in Utah? What do they got there?